Sagittarius, this is your tarot reading for the month of May, coming from the mountains of Java, and it looks a good one. Everybody's world is changing dramatically, but yours definitely is. Should bring with it good fortune, and that runs throughout this entire thing. In fact, I can see the death card here, an ending. Well, change means an ending. So don't mourn for the ending of things, because it's bringing in the new. In the past, you were bold, you were brave, you were fearless. Maybe somewhat got hold of the wrong end of the stick. I don't know. But the other thing that I notice about this spread is there are 6 kings. Three kings. So we're starting off with the King of Pentacles. Somebody that's good with money, or at least thinks he is. No, I think that you are good with money. The next king is the King of Swords. Somebody that has the information they need to their hands. Somebody that's good with information. And that leads to the final king, which is the King of Wands, that not only has that information, but knows how to use it. A natural entrepreneur, if you like. What would prevent you from moving on is that death. Well, that death's going to happen anyway. That ending's going to happen anyway. It's you lamenting things that would prevent you from moving on. But I think you do move on. And in the future, you will be scoring victories, and people will be recognising you scoring victories. They're battles rather than wars. There'll be many more. But you're moving absolutely in the right direction, Sagittarius. Now, the energy that dominates this spread and May is the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. So it means everything changes for you. I see it as very positive. It should mean a change in fortune for the better for you. You do have to abandon some of the old and release it to allow the new in. But I think it's very positive. I mean, the truth is, I think all signs have now caught up and are aware that this is a time of unprecedented and major change. So, you've been through other changes and there's more to come. But there is a major change here in May. And as I say, it should spell good fortune for you. I see it very positively indeed, and it runs through everything else. It really does. Now, the energy from the past is that of being brave, fearless, bold, but maybe jumping to the wrong conclusion. Because of the unprecedented level of change, many of us have been getting hold of slightly the wrong end of the stick on the nature of this change and what's required of us. In fact, a theme for other signs, and I'm not saying this applies to you, but a theme for other signs for this May has been not to try and control things because you don't really know what's happening. And, I think maybe in the past you were guilty of that. But things are changing now, and things should slowly get revealed. So I don't think this was negative, the past. It's a reminder of where you've been. Now, as I said in the introduction, there are 3 kings. So this is definitely a very powerful spread, very powerful indeed. Major change is going on, and I think you're coming out on top. The first of these kings is the King of Coins, or Pentacles. And that suggests to me that you're good with money. I sometimes say that you think you're good with money, but no, I believe it's saying you are good with money or good with financial matters. And how exactly that's impacting on things, I'm not sure. It probably, because we've got good fortune here, it could mean that you're attracting a degree of wealth this month. Or that you're being clever with your wealth, which creates more wealth. Could mean something like that. Now in the future, and I'm sure this is because we've got these three kings, in the future you're going to be winning some battles. These are battles rather than wars, there will be many more, because everything is changing so rapidly. There'll be many more tests and trials, but you appear to be mostly, at the moment always I think, on the winning side. And people are recognising that. People are recognising that you seem to be winning. So people are attracted to you. Most of them will be good, not all will be, but I think you've got a degree of discernment. You wouldn't have got the three kings without that. So I think you're going to be attracting good things in the future, I really do. It looks good, Sagittarius, it really does. And what leads to the outcome, which is a king, is another king, which is a king of swords. So the king of swords is a wise king, sort of person that people come to for information. And maybe come to for judgment even. Very wise king. Got the information he needs. Now we've all been seeking information, and I did accuse you earlier of maybe jumping to the wrong conclusions. Maybe you weren't, maybe I was wrong. But now certainly you've got the information you need. So therefore, you can shape your future much better. Whereas before, I think, like us all, you were somewhat in the dark. Those of you who regularly watch my tarot readings will notice that I'm no longer doing as many clarification checks, clarifications on my spreads. Why is that? Well, one reason, I suppose the first reason is that I'm not getting many views on my tarot, and I often think, should I keep on doing it even? The second reason is I've heard that the ideal size for something on YouTube is slightly shorter than what I normally do. But the third reason is I just don't feel I need to. So we've got a card here, the death card, and I would normally always get clarification on it. I go, oh my God, the death card. It means an ending. Well, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, a new beginning. So there's got to be an ending, and this is it. We don't need to say anymore. There's an ending. Don't mourn for it. It's going to happen. There's nothing more to say. It comes with the territory. The outcome is another king. Now this is the King of Wands, and what begat, if you like, the King of Wands was the King of Swords. So the information you got led to you this energy of the King of Wands. Well, the King of Wands is actionable information. So this is wonderful. You've got the information that you're looking for, And now you know how to put it into action. I often describe this king as entrepreneurial, and maybe it does mean entrepreneurial, but in the broadest sense of the word, you know what you need to do, and that's based on knowledge, probably based on experience as well, but you absolutely know what you're doing. So you've seen these changes, you've seen this change in your world come about, and now you know what you're doing and how you need to deal with it. And of course in the future you score these victories and people recognise you scoring these victories. So you're really stepping into your own, Sagittarius. And as I've said, I'm not going to take clarification on the death card, because that's just a part of these changes. It's something that we have to accept. We have to let go of some of the past to bring in these changes. But you know that. You're wise, King of Swords and the King of Wands. For God's sake, you understand it. So let's summarise for you. Sagittarius, it's a lovely, lovely spread you've got for May. Your world is changing, and your world is changing for the better. It will bring good luck. You've known these changes are coming. In fact, you've already been through many changes, but these are some more quite profound changes, and you've been waiting for them, and you've known they're going to happen. You've been a bit anxious about them even. It does mean that you've got to give something up. Now, it's the death card, so, something has to give way. But don't dwell on it. I mean, that's the nature of change, Change means something moves on, and this is it. So don't grieve over that. The wonderful thing I see here is 3 kings. So very, very powerful reading. Very powerful spread. So much happening to you. I think in the past you were a little bit anxious and maybe got hold of the wrong end of the stick. But I don't see that anymore. In fact, 2 of the kings suggest wisdom. But the first king we have that impacts on the month is the King of Pentacles, which means you're good with money. I think it probably means you're attracting wealth this month. Might not, but I think it does. We then have the King of Swords, which means you're beginning to get the information that you're looking for, which is why I think you didn't fully have it in the past. Maybe jump into the wrong conclusions in the past, like so many of us have recently. And this knowledge leads you to an even more practical knowledge, the King of Wands. So somebody that's able to take the information and put it into practice. In a broadest sense of the word, an entrepreneur, so somebody who knows what they're doing, a mover and shaker who can really shape the environment. And as a result of that, you're going to get public recognition for winning. Now, I do need to emphasise these are battles, not wars. With change will come many tests. It's not the end of all these tests, but I think with 3 kings, you're well able to deal with them. You really are, Sagittarius.